Hello everyone, welcome to the Reaching Out channel. I just wanted to talk to you about the topic of what's more important, counting your time or making your time count. Because it seems to me that as a Jehovah's Witness there was a real obsession with counting your time. I did have a spell of pioneering, and the thing that really got me down was the obsession with counting your time. The emphasis was never on the quality of your ministry, but the emphasis was on getting your hours in as quickly as you possibly could and getting your report filled in. And that really got me down, because that's not why I went into it. I went into it with good intentions. I honestly wanted to do the best that I could, and yet the total obsession by all the pioneers was, have you got your time in? How are your hours going? Rather than, have you had any nice experiences? Who have you spoken to? That was not the obsession, it was time. And then as a publisher, it wasn't that much better, really. There was a constant question about, have you filled in your report card? Have you got your report in this month? And it just never sat comfortably with me, because it was just another part of the theocratic framework of Jehovah's Witnesses, which was purely a Jehovah's Witness invention. It had no basis in scripture, no apostolic model to follow. I mean, my goodness, did Jesus ever have to fill in a report card every month to say how many people he'd contacted, how much time he'd spent, how much literature he'd placed? It just felt really odd, and something I was never particularly comfortable with. And I just felt that it was just so that at the end of the year they could go 1 billion hours spent in ministry, and yet there was no discussion about the quality of that ministry. Because when I was a pioneer, I would often see pioneers doing their slow walk from one side of the territory all the way to the other side of the territory, wasting 2 hours speaking to not a single person, and they would happily record that on their report as 2 hours of witnessing. Well, it wasn't 2 hours of witnessing, it was 2 hours of walking extremely slowly. We used to laugh about the pioneer walk because it was really noticeable that they would all walk at slow speed, not even half speed, not even quarter speed. It was pioneer speed. It was a very strange phenomenon. And yet, what have I experienced having left the Jehovah's Witnesses? Well, I've experienced a whole new freedom of making your time count. I now have the freedom to use my time wisely, which I've never had before. It was always frowned upon to get involved with charities, because God was going to sort that out when Armageddon came. We didn't need to get involved in helping people in our community. That wasn't our job. Well, I disagree. I think that we are all members of the human race. We all have an obligation to look out for each other, to help each other where we can. And so that's what I've done. I've been a community volunteer. I've been able to reach out to people in my community, from young people to old people, it's been wonderful to finally integrate into my community and actually make a difference. I do remember a lovely family years ago in one of my former congregations who they used to hire a lorry every year and drive to Romania with used items and presents for the Romanian orphans. But they were told by the elders that they weren't allowed to mention it to anybody in the congregation or ask for donations from people in the congregation, because that was presumably a distraction. It wasn't to be encouraged. So they relied on donations from worldly people, from work colleagues, from people at the school, which just always struck me as so contrary, because surely Jehovah's Witnesses should be setting the lead in helping those less fortunate, and yet here we were, this family were relying on donations from people who didn't share our beliefs. It was just crazy. I just didn't understand that at all. And so it's been really refreshing to be able to actually help my community get involved with some direct action to, actually do something practical with my time. I remember on a few instances I cooked meals for older ones in the congregation, or there was somebody had a bereavement, so I took a meal round, and they were so grateful. They just couldn't believe it. I remember this elderly couple saying to me, "Oh, you've got a heart of gold. You've got a heart of gold." And I just thought, I wish I could do this all the time, rather than the obsession with going out on the doors, not meeting a single person, but making sure that I recorded it on my report. Such a shame. Thanks for listening. Take care. See you later. Bye.